As we all know, the happenings have everyone with some time on their hands. I decided to spend some of mine by sinking an unholy amount of hours into one of my favorite games. So today, I'm going to be doing my first Pokemon challenge. I've watched multiple YouTubers do challenges, like Madrid Red and Pika Spray, and thought that'd be something I could do. I've been playing Pokemon games for 14 years, my first being Pokemon Diamond. I thought that it'd be fun to go back to my first Pokemon game for this challenge. Today, we are going to see if I can beat Pokemon Diamond version with only one Beta Wooper. Beta Wooper was found in a leak of the Space World 1999 demo version of Pokemon Gold and Silver. After doing some research of the leak, I discovered that in the game it was a normal and flying type Pokemon. This is only because it replaced an early evolution of Farfetch from the previous demo. Since the Pokédex entry in the demo calls it a water Pokemon, I made it a pure water type. Its Gen 4 moveset is very similar to normal Woopers, except because of its new type, I replaced all of the ground moves with normal or dark type moves. Let's go over the rules. I can only use Beta Wooper in battle, though I'll be allowed to use other Pokemon for HMs. Only held items are allowed during combat, but I can use other items like potions and antidotes between battles. Any glitches or exploits are banned for my playthrough. So I start out the game as usual. The professor doesn't know my gender or name. I pick the girl character and name her Mew. She's a rising pop star aiming to reach the mythical status of her Pokemon namesake Mew. I name my rival Later Hater because he doesn't have time for small fry and is always running to the next goal. After watching a show about the mysterious Red Gyarados, Later Hater gets the idea that there must be one in our town lake. He runs into the house, leaving his mom wondering what he's up to. Interestingly enough, his mom actually has different dialogue from before and after he leaves the house. Anyway, we go to the lake and the professor leaves behind some Pokemon. I obviously pick up Piplup Wooper. I name her Tetra because my Discord friends kept suggesting Norwegian female pirate names, and I wanted something more familiar to, the gamers. I mean, we could name her Tetra, like from Phantom Hourglass, Wind Waker. Wow, pirates have very interesting names. Yeah, we'll go with it. I do like the pirate theme. So, I just kind of wanted to make it something that's not as Norwegian, let's put it that way. So, Popstar Mew and Tetra learn how to catch a Pokemon, and we immediately grab Garfield. Since they won a lifetime supply of lasagna from my last performance, he'll help us smash rocks once we learn how to do that. Until then, he'll live out his existence within a computer simulation. Our first major challenge in this one happens to be the very first trainer we fight. Youngster Tristan has a level 5 Starly with Quick Attack, and we need to be level 7 to beat it without any hiccups. The rest of the trainers on Route 202 are easy after that. We get to Jubilife City, get an Apple Watch, and head north to get some levels. We need to be at least level 12 to beat our rivals, such as Turtwig can just withdraw, making none of our physical or verbal assaults reach him emotionally, which definitely needs to happen. Here I learned Water Gun. Water Gun is useful for its same type attack bonus, also known as Stab. But since we have weak special attack, it is not always our best option. After beating the trainers, I still need a few levels, so I grind in the cave, here hoping to find Geodudes I can one-shot. I keep getting Zubats, so it takes longer than I would like. At level 11, I try out the rival fight again. He sends out his level 7 Starly. He uses Quick Attack. Since it has weaker special defense, I use Water Gun and land a crit. So far, this is going good. Next turn, I take it out, and Later Hater sends out Turtwig. The strategy here is a little different. Since we already have lowered attack from Starly's Growl and Turtwig keeps using Withdraw, the best option is to only use special attacks. This means using Water Gun, which is not very effective against grass types. Trust me, this does more damage than Tackle. However, Turtwig uses too many tackles and is able to just barely outlast us. I try the fight again because I know I can get some experience off Starly. I end up losing again, and I grind up to the last little bit to level 12 and try again. This time, using the same strategy, he uses enough withdraws and I'm able to overtake him. Next, we are off through the cave to Orberg City. On the way, we get HM06 for Rock Smash from a hiker. In Orberg, we head down to the mines to find Roark, the gym leader. He teaches us to smash rocks and then goes back to his gym. We go to the left and use the escape rope that hopefully no one else needs. Since we are level 15 going to the gym, I expect this to be a sweep. Let's see how I do. Roark sends out Geodude.
and I take it out with one water gun. He sends out Onix, and it uses Rockfail for a bit of my health. I use water gun to take it out. Finally, the hardest Pokemon in this fight, Cranidos. He uses Leer to lower my defense. I use water gun to take him down to almost half his health, but then he uses Headbutt, hitting my weak point for massive damage. I also unluckily flinch, and he takes me out. I seriously don't know why Cranidos learns Headbutt this early. It's a base 70 power move with 100% accuracy and a chance to flinch. Anyway, the first two Pokemon go the same way, and this time, Cranidos uses Pursuit twice, letting me take him down to red health. He uses a potion, allowing me to use Water Gun to remove its effect. He uses Pursuit again, so I'm able to take him out, getting me the Coal Badge. I then head off to Eterna City with a detour through Floroma Town, because I'm still on tour. On the way, Tetra learns Stomp, a base 65 normal type move that has a chance to flinch. Team Galactic has taken over the Valley Windworks, and I fight my way through low-level grunts using my new move. Now it's time to take on Commander Mars. She sends out a Zubat. I naturally try to stomp it out of the sky. It only did a little over half health, but I can take it out next turn. This battle goes for worse when Zubat uses Toxic. This is not good. I'm able to take out Zubat the next turn, but Mars sends Perugly out. Perugly is a tank, and since my speed is only 15 right now, she outspeeds me as well. That, along with the poison, takes me out. I need to level up. I start training just outside Valley Windworks. The Pokemon around here are easy to defeat, but do not give a lot of experience. I can't one-shot some of them with Stomp, even though they are only level 8. After an hour of grinding, I level up from level 20 to level 26, and try again. This time I have a speed tie with Zubat. She doesn't use Toxic this time, and I take it out with Stomp, only taking minimal damage. She sends out Perugly. I'm able to take it out with 4 Stomps, surviving a critical hit with only 14 HP. I think I was only able to win this fight because of how much HP I had. I go through Eterna Forest and decide to grind some levels here. Because we'll be facing a Grass-type gym in Eterna City, I feel like level 36 will be a good place to be. Since you have a partner that heals you after each battle, grinding Eterna Forest is ideal. Along the way, I learned Body Slam. After I get to level 36, I go on to Eterna City, heading straight for the gym. The trainers in the gym are easy, so I quickly make it to Gardenia. She uses Cherubi. I use Body Slam, which is a one-shot. She then sends out Turtwig, and because of its higher defense and a super potion, it takes 3 Body Slams to take it out. Finally, Gardenia sends out Roserade. Since Roserade is faster, I am almost taken out by a super effective Grass Knot as I use Body Slam. Roserade is down to less than half health, but because of a berry, it heals back to more than half. Finally, I get taken out by a Grass Knot. I think I just needed better luck with this fight. She sends out Cherubi again. Surprisingly, it takes 2 Body Slams and a Stomp to take it out. This isn't the luck I was looking for. Turtwig again goes down in 3 Body Slams because of the Super Potion. Now that we have full health going into Roserade, we are able to take it out with our Body Slams, even though we get poisoned, winning us the fight. Next, we need to dismantle the newest branch of Scientology. We go to Team Galactic Eterna building and make our way through a few grunts on our way to Commander Jupiter. Zubat is weak and goes down to 1 Body Slam. Next, Skuntank is able to tank a hit, but goes down with the next Body Slam. We get our bike and head off to Hearthome. There we have our second battle with our rifle. We came to this fight with less HP than I would have liked. Later, Hater sends out his Starly, which gets taken out by 1 Stomp. Grottle is more tanky, so 1 Body Slam takes him down to half. A second Body Slam is just barely not enough to finish him, and he uses another Razor Leaf. This is bad. I finish him with Stomp. Next, he sends up Weasel. I can only hope that he uses a Water-type move for some reason so that my ability, Water Absorb, can recover some of the damage. However, the AI is smart and uses Quick Attack to take me out. I take another go at it, though this time with full health. Starly goes down to Stomp. Grottle takes 3 Body Slams, but this time he doesn't use Razor Leaf. Both of the chances he gets! I don't know why he decided to go easy on me this time. I take Weasel out with Body Slam, and Ponyta almost goes down to Water Gun. Another one takes it out, winning me the fight. Not much else happens until Veilstone City, so I head over there. At Veilstone, I try out the fighting gym. I could only take out the trainers one at a time before needing to heal. I then initiated my first battle with leader Maylene. She starts by sending out Meditite. It uses Confusion for minimal damage, but it takes 2 Body Slams to take it out. Next is Machoke. Body Slam takes around a third of its health. It uses Leer, weakening me for later. I use another body slam and it misses the rock tomb before the third body slam takes it out. Maylene then sends out her Lucario. It uses Drain Punch, bringing me to low health. It seems like I'm not quite strong enough yet. Sure enough, next turn, Bone Rush takes me out. I then head south of Veilstone to Route 214 for some trainer fights. The catch is that there are a lot of Psychic type trainers that also happen to use Ghost type Pokemon. Because of this, I can only hit them with Water Gun. Further complicating the situation, this first trainer has a Ghastly that knows Curse and Confuse Ray. It takes me a couple of attempts to get lucky, and I use the rest of the trainers on Route 214 to level up and learn Aqua Tail. This is one of the few physical water type moves I can know, meaning I now have a move that both uses Stab and plays to my strongest stat. I attempt fighting Maylene again. She sends out Meditite, but this time it is a one-shot with Aqua Tail. Next is Machoke, who goes down to an Aqua Tail and a Body Slam. Finally, I have to face Lucario. It uses Force Palm, taking almost half my health and paralyzing me. I decide to use Yawn, hopefully putting it to sleep. Next, I take it down to half health after it eats a berry and uses another Force Palm, bringing me to red health. Luckily, since it is asleep, I take it down with one final Aqua Tail, winning me the Cobble Badge and the ability to use Fly. I think if I hadn't learned Aqua Tail, more levels would have been necessary. After that, I head over to Pastoria City to get it on my map. Then I need to travel back to Valley Woodwork since it is a Friday and catch a Drifloon, which I name Hindenburg. Once it evolves, it can learn Defog, Cut, Flash, and Fly, while leveling Hindenburg in the daycare to evolve it. I take on Lost Tower to get the HM for Strength and the TM for Return, which we will need for later. When it evolves, I fly to Pastoria City to battle the gym. Since I have Water Absorb, I think the gym will be easy. After failing because of confusion from Swagger, I teach Tetra Return from the TM I got earlier. Since we've only been using Tetra, our happiness should be maxed out by now. The second attempt went better, but I missed Return multiple times because of Quagsire lowering my accuracy. So let's recap the third attempt. Wake sends out Gyarados. I am trying to make sure I don't get hit by Swagger. Gyarados uses Brine, which does nothing because of Water Absorb, and I hit a return for decent damage. He then uses Dragon Rage, which hits me for 40 HP and I hit him with another return. Wake uses the potion and Gyarados goes down to 2 more returns, but I do get hit by Swagger. Wake sends out his Quagsire and Tetra hurts herself in confusion. Swagger actually helps us on our next turn since we have our attack raised. Return takes Quagsire to barely yellow health as Slam does nothing. After Wake uses a Super Potion, it takes 2 more returns for Quagsire to faint. Next is Floatzel. It uses Pursuit as I go into red health with a return. One final return takes it out. After receiving the Fen Badge, I head to Route 212 to fight some trainers and get to Hearthome. I try facing the Hearthome gym, but I forgot I still need to do some things first. I head over to Pastoria City and follow Mysterious Team Galactic Grunt, who I then battle. Cynthia shows up and gives me the Secret Potion to use on the Psyduck north of Celestian Town. I use a Secret Potion and start heading north towards Celestic Town. There is fog on this route, so I head back to Pastoria for the HM defog and teach it to Hindenburg. In Celestic Town, I get the HM for Surf, and now we should be able to battle Fantina. I attempt fighting her multiple times. After doing some math, we are definitely not strong enough. Was the decision to battle my way to defeat the champion wrong? Is there a different way to beat Pokémon Diamond? Fantina does Pokémon contests. Is my true dream to be a pop star? Maybe I can win a Master Egg contest with the cutest, most chonky Pokemon of them all. After spilling and burning my way through berries, I create enough Sweet Poffins to get Tetra to almost max cuteness. I teach Tetra Protect and relearn Amnesia because they're good moves in a contest. I plow my way through the lower level contest and now it is time to compete in the Master Rank Cute Pokemon Super Contest. First is the visual challenge. I get a really weird theme of the flexible. I try putting in items that would be malleable, hoping that is what they're looking for. I end up running out of items that fit the category and fill the rest with more fluff balls. In the end, Tetra is completely covered in fluff and mustaches. Sadly, because I didn't get max cuteness from Poffins and I don't have enough items for dress up, I only got 5 hearts. Next is the dance challenge. I'm doing okay at first, but the beat of the music is harder to follow than the earlier stages. From those 2 competitions, I start the acting challenge in last place. Can I overcome this challenge? Since all the judges start out with low voltage, I use Protect, hoping to get 4 hearts. I got that, and a +2 bonus from my judge. Next I use Amnesia, hoping to get a good score next turn when the voltages are higher. Since I'm doing terribly, I go first the next turn. I use Return, gaining an extra +2 for going first. Finally, it is the last turn and I use Protect, since one of my judges still has low voltage, gaining me 4 hearts +2 more from the judge. I was the worst performer in all the categories, except for acting. And a reanimated dinosaur beat me in the cute challenge? Impossible. Maybe all that's left for me is to spend my time away from my Pokemon. Now that I've unlocked the Veilstone Game Corner, maybe it will have some games within this game for me to while away the hours with. I get addicted to collecting coins, using Clefairy to cheat at gambling. Wait, coins can be used to buy TMs? My lucky number is 13, so I guess TM 13 will do? Ice Beam. What type is weak to ice? Flying. Wait. Drifloon is flying type. Maybe I can beat Fantina. I attempt Fantina with Ice Beam again. I'm still not able to one-shot Drifblim, but the 100% accuracy helps when it uses Minimize. I think I have a plan though. I get the Quick Claw from Jubilife City. I then relearn Rain Dance from the move reminder. I need to get lucky with Drifblim and defeat it with minimal damage and set up a Rain Dance. It either needs to mostly use Astonish and not flinch me, I need to freeze it with Ice Beam, which is a 10% chance, or it needs to use Minimize without me missing. Another benefit of Ice Beam is that it doesn't make contact with Drifblim, so Aftermath doesn't activate. Let's see how this goes. Fantina sends out Drifblim and I try using Ice Beam, but I flinch from Astonish. I use Ice Beam and again flinch from Astonish. This time Drifblim uses Minimize and I hit an Ice Beam for 2/3 of its health. I also get a very lucky freeze. I use Rain Dance, but Drifblim thaws out. I have never seen a Pokemon thaw right after being frozen. It uses Astonish, but luckily I don't flinch. Rain starts falling and I use Ice Beam to knock it out, taking some damage from Gust. Next she sends out Mismagius. Without Rain Dance, Aqua Tail will take it down to red health and then it would heal with a berry. However, with Rain Dance, Aqua Tail is a one-shot. Luckily, I go first because of Quick Claw and it goes down. Finally, I need to defeat Gengar. It's faster than me and uses Shadow Claw, which has a high crit chance. Luckily, it does normal damage and glances off my strong defenses. I then take it out with an Aqua Tail, winning me the Relic Badge. Now I can use Surf to get to Canalife City. In Canalife, I have to fight my rival. Later, Hater sends out his Staravia, who cuts our attack with Intimidate. I used Rain Dance to power up Aqua Tail. Staravia uses Quick Attack. I then go for a super effective Ice Beam, taking Staravia out. Next is Grottle, who goes down to 2 super effective Ice Beams and gets frozen. I'm glad I have a way to deal with grass types now. Next he sends up Weasel, who almost goes down to 1 return while healing me due to a Water Absorb. I then use Return again to take him out. Then later Hater sends up Ponyta, and I use the opportunity to set up Rain for the next Pokemon. I take Ponyta out with a powered up Aqua Tail. Finally, it's Heracross. I use 2 powered up Aqua Tails to defeat it. Next is the Canalife City Gym. Leader Byron sends out Bronzor, and I almost take him out with an Aqua Tail before falling asleep to Hypnosis. I then get hit hard with Extra Sensory, but I wake up and knock it out with another Aqua Tail. I keep spamming Aqua Tail on his Steelix and Bastiodon, winning me the fight. Team Galactic are up to their antics again, and they steal the legendary Lake Trio. We try stopping them. The fights are easy, so let's move on. I go north to Snow Point City and face off against Gym Leader Candace. She sends out her Snover and it sets up Hail with Snow Warning. I use Return, taking it to yellow health. I then take it down with another Return. Next is the dreaded Abomasnow. It's tanky, and if it hits Woodhammer or Grass Whistle, we are done for. Luckily, it creates its own weakness. If it uses Swagger and we don't hit ourselves in confusion, we can take it down in 2 hits due to our increased attack. I had to do multiple attempts until this one, where it used Swagger. I then confusionally take it down in 1 return. Next is Sneasel. I want to set up Rain to help with Medicham, but Sneasel uses Taunt, preventing me from using status moves. I then go for Return, taking it out. Finally, Medicham starts out with Ice Punch. On my first attempt I got this far, but Ice Punch froze us, so we lost. This time, we aren't frozen, so one Aqua Tail wins us the Icicle Badge. Now we need to face Team Galactic in their headquarters. I break into the headquarters and face off against Cyrus. First he sends out Murkrow. 1 Ice Beam knocks it out. Next is Golbat, which goes down to 2 Ice Beams. Finally he sends out Sneasel and knock it out with 2 returns. Now we need to climb Mount Cornet. I forgot to get the agent for Rock Climb just south of Snowpoint City, so I grabbed that. The hiker in the house nearby gives us the icicle plate, which will be useful for later. I then head up the mountain and fight Jupiter and Mars in a double battle. I beat them both easily and then go against Cyrus. His Honchkrow uses dog pulse for massive damage and I take it down with 2 ice beams. But his Crobat is too strong and knocks me out with cross poison. I try multiple times before I take the hint that I need to level up. Right now, there aren't many trainers to battle, so I decide to level up in the daycare. After getting to level 80, I try again. This time, Jupiter and Mars are actually harder, mostly because my rival's Munchlax is worthless. It keeps raising its defense while I take most of the hits. If he does somehow get knocked out, Ponyta can one-shot one of the Bronzor with Fire Blast, and Weasel can oddly enough attack Tetra with Aqua Jet, giving me much needed healing. In the Cyrus fight, I get to Gyarados this time, but because he uses a full restore and none of my moves are super effective, I get taken out. I try changing up my items. Since Cyrus can use citrus berries, maybe I should too. This goes poorly because Jupiter and Mars will always take Tetra down to enough damage that the berry is used before Cyrus. I go and get a Mystic Water, hoping that I can one-shot Weavile with a rain boosted Aqua Tail. This doesn't work out either. In comes the icicle plate from earlier. I tried it before I leveled up, but it didn't work. Maybe now I can use it. Cyrus uses 2 healing items during the battle, first a super potion and then a full restore. With the icicle plate, I can one-shot his Honchkrow, and then he's forced to waste his turn using a weak super potion on his Crobat. I can then consistently get to Gyarados. This would still be enough to defeat me, but Gyarados sometimes uses Aqua Tail, healing me. I keep trying until I get this run. Cyrus sends out Honchkrow. He uses Steel Wing, doing minimal damage. It goes down to an Ice Beam. Next, Crobat uses Cross Poison, doing only a little bit. He then falls to red health thanks to an Ice Beam, and after a Super Potion goes down to another Ice Beam. Next is Gyarados. He uses Giga Impact, doing a decent amount of damage, as I use Ice Beam, hoping for a freeze. After a recharge, he uses Earthquake, taking me down to 48 health. I get a critical hit on Ice Beam, taking him out without him using a full restore. Next, Weavile uses Ice Punch, and I knock him out with a critical Aqua Tail. I don't know how I even got this good of a run. 2 crits in a row is very lucky. I then freeze the Pokemon Time Deity Dialga to death. Next, I head out to Sunyshore City to face the final gym. The trainers in the gym are pretty easy except for this child who has 4 level 40 Pikachus. I keep trying until I'm lucky enough to have them use garbage moves like Feint and Agility. Finally, I get to face off against Faulkner. I'm able to make it to his Octillery, but his charge moves keep doing too much damage. I think I need to be level 90 to beat him. Remember earlier when I said there were no trainers to fight? I totally forgot about the Fuego Iron Rooks and Iron Island. I beat the trainers in both eras, and while I still have Riley, I teach Tetra Surf and take out tons of Zero Battle Wild Pokemon. At level 90, I realize that there are enough rare candies to level up to 100 without grinding. I go on a rare candy hunt and get Tetra to the glorious level of 100. I try the 8th gym again. Volkno sends out Raichu and it paralyzes me as I take it down with 1 Aqua Tail. Next is Luxray, who does a decent amount of damage with Charge Beam while I take it out with a critical Aqua Tail. This is going better. Ambipom takes us to yellow with Shockwave and we don't move because of paralysis. Ambipom baton passes to Octillery as I use Aqua Tail, doing half of its health and damage. Octillery uses Octazooka, healing Tetra because of Water Absorb as it goes down to a return. Ambipom hits me with 1 Shockwave as I feint it with 1 Aqua Tail, winning me the Beacon Badge. I then go and get HM07 for Waterfall from Jasmine. Mew and Tetra make their way through Victory Road to the Elite Four. Not to be easily outdone by me, Later Hater wants one last battle to see if he has what it takes to beat the champion. Because we are facing a full team of 6 Pokemon, here I actually lose my first time. I did forget to give Tetra an item though. I give Tetra a Citrus Berry for the little extra healing that we need. Later Hater sends out Staraptor, who uses Close Combat for decent damage as it goes down in 1 Ice Beam. He then sends out Torterra, who also goes down in 1 Ice Beam. Next is Snorlax, who is a little trickier due to his bulk. I use Rain Dance to power up my water type moves as I take some damage from Body Slam. I use Aqua Tail, taking him down to yellow health as he uses Rest to heal back up to full, but he's asleep. I use 2 more Aqua Tails to defeat him. Next is Heracross. We take a little bit from Aerial Ace as he goes down to red health from my Aqua Tail. He then does decent damage with Rock Slide as I heal with my berry. I then take it down with 1 more Aqua Tail. Floatzel's out and I use Return as it freezes us with Ice Fang. I take damage from another Ice Fang and then Thaw and beat him in 2 returns. Finally, I need to defeat Rapidash. I use Rain Dance to prevent Rapidash from using Sunny Day. It uses Bounce and then falls down to 1 Aqua Tail. Now it's time to take on the Elite Four. I stock up on potions and head on in. Bug-type Elite Four member Aaron sends out Dustox. It faints in 1 critical Aqua Tail. Next is the Bug and Flying type Beautifly, who's knocked down in 1 Ice Beam. Heracross is next, and after a Rain Dance, I beat him with 1 Aqua Tail as he misses a powerful Mega Horn. Vespiquen goes down in 2 Ice Beams. Next is Drapion. I use Aqua Tail, taking him down to almost half health as he eats a berry. I then flinch from his Ice Fang. Next he uses Aerial Ace and I hit him with another Aqua Tail. He uses a Full Restore, I use another Aqua Tail. He uses Ice Fang and I freeze him, then immediately Thaw on the same turn and use Aqua Tail, taking him to red health. I've never unfrozen that fast. 1 more Aqua Tail allows me to defeat the first of the Elite Four. I heal between fights and head on to Bertha, the ground type Elite Four member. Bertha first sends out Quagsire as I use Ice Beam hoping for the freeze. Quagsire uses Dig and I use my free turn to summon the rain. I get hit by Dig and then use Ice Beam, but Quagsire protects himself. I then use another Ice Beam as Quagsire sets up a Sandstorm and then uses a Full Restore on the next turn. I hit another Aqua Tail, I then use Ice Beam, but Quagsire protects himself again. Next I hit a critical Aqua Tail, taking him out. Next is Sudowoodo, but an Aqua Tail, along with Rain, is too much for his poor rock tree. Next is Hippowdon, who undoes my Rain with his Sandstream. I reset up as he uses Crunch, taking me down to almost red health. I then use a super effective Aqua Tail, taking him down. Next is Golem, who goes down to 1 Aqua Tail as expected. Finally, there's Whiscash. I use an Aqua Tail, taking the red health as he uses Aqua Tail, healing me due to my Water Absorb. Bertha uses a Full Restore as I miss an Aqua Tail. I set up another Rain Dance and take some damage from Rock Slide. I return Whiscash to a critical condition with another Aqua Tail as she uses another Rock Slide. Finally, 1 more Aqua Tail gives me the victory over Bertha. I heal and move on to Flint, the Fire type Elite Four member, who's also a furry? First up is Rapidash, who uses Bounce as I set up Rain Dance. I get hit by Bounce and knock it out with an Aqua Tail. Next is Infernape, whose Flail Bits gets smothered in the rain as I put its flame out with Aqua Tail. Next is Drifblim. I use Ice Beam to take it down to half health as it tries dodging its fate with Double Team. More on that later. Drifblim uses Ominous Wind, taking me to yellow health. I then take it out with another Ice Beam. Next is Steelix, who goes down to 2 Aqua Tails after lowering my defense with Screech. Finally, there's Lopunny, Flint's Fursona. I use Fire Punch for minimal damage as I take it to yellow health with, you guessed it, Aqua Tail. It then uses Sunny Day, weakening my Aqua Tail, so now it only takes it to red health. Flint uses the Full Restore and I use Return. However, I get infatuated with Lopunny's cute charm ability. I break through this twice, landing a Rain Dance and an Aqua Tail for the knockout as I'm left with red health. This first attempt actually went really well. If I'm burned by any of his Pokemon, since my attack is halved, I cannot take down a Steelix. Later, when I redo this fight, I lost many attempts because I got burned. I'm now off to the last Elite Four member, Lucian. I get knocked down in 2 hits with the Mr. Mime. My special defenses are just too weak for this fight. I teach Tetra Double Team in place of Rain Dance and try again. I get hit with a super effective Thunderbolt, almost taking me out as I double team. I then go down to Psychic. I need the second part of this strategy. I let myself lose to Lucian, catch a Psyduck, and name it DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy by using DuckDuckGo today. Anyway, I go to a menu square with DuckDuckGo and walk around to find TM45 Attract. Since almost all of Lucian's Pokemon are male, I can get an extra layer of defense with Attract. Let's see how I do. Lucian sends out Mr. Mime. I use Attract that sets up Reflect. I then start my double teams as it misses because of Attract. I set up my 6 double teams, taking no damage. I then use Waterfall, getting Mr. Mime to red health as Lucian uses a Full Restore. I use Waterfall 2 more times, knocking him down without taking any damage myself. Next is Medicham, who actually hits the Thunder Punch but only does a decent amount of damage. I use Attract to increase my protection. I then take Medicham down in 2 more Waterfalls. Alakazam comes out and I use Attract. I then defeat it with 2 Waterfalls. Next is Girafarig. I use Attract again as it misses a Psychic. I then use Ice Beam, trying to conserve my Waterfalls with Bronzong. I then use Waterfall, taking him down. Finally, Bronzong is sent out. I use Waterfall since he's genderless. I get hit with Psychic, going to yellow health. I then use another Waterfall as it heals with a berry and flinches. I take it to a Sliver with another Waterfall. Lucian uses a Full Restore and I continue bashing his Bronzong with Waterfall. He misses the rest of his attacks. I finally defeat Lucian. Now I can heal up for one final time and face Cynthia. Cynthia sends out Spiritomb, and I start setting up my double teams as I get hit by Psychic. I use Waterfall doing some decent damage. I then use Ice Beam, and then Waterfall taking her Spiritomb down to a sliver. She uses a full restore and Spiritomb flinches, subsequently missing as it goes down to 3 Waterfalls. Roserade goes down in 2 Ice Beams. Gastrodon takes a good amount of Waterfalls to faint. I then use Attract on Lucario and take him down in 2 Waterfalls. Garchomp goes down in 2 Ice Beams after it hangs on and heals with the berry. Finally, it's down to Milotic. There's a problem though. I only have power points for 2 Ice Beams. I use one and get a Lucky Freeze. I take this opportunity to waste power points on Attract. Milotic heals with Aqua Ring and hits me with an Ice Beam. This is bad. I get frozen with another Ice Beam. Finally, I get taken out with one final Ice Beam. This was only my 3rd attempt. I reload my save just before Cynthia. Attract isn't really useful here as Cynthia only has 1 male Pokemon. I replace it with Strength. It is not as good as Return, but I had to replace Return earlier to get Attract. Little did I know that it would take over 20 more attempts to get another run that got me that far. I start setting up my double team on her Spiritomb. It hits us with Psychic doing decent damage. I keep setting up double teams as it misses more moves. It goes down in 1 more Psychic. I then use Waterfall, then Ice Beam, then another Waterfall to prevent Cynthia from using a full restore. Next is Roserade, who goes down in 2 Ice Beams. This is the time that I use my additional power points from Strength to take him down. It takes a while since Cynthia uses the full restore, but I do get extra healing from my Shell Bell. Next is Lucario, and I take it down with 2 Waterfalls as it misses one of its attacks. Garchomp is out, it gets frozen in 1 Ice Beam and goes down another. Finally, we once again face Milotic. I use Strength since it resists water and ice moves. This time I don't run out of power points and it misses all of its attacks even though Cynthia uses a full restore. I'm able to overtake it, winning me the championship. I really enjoyed this Pokemon challenge. It was fun replaying my first Pokemon game through a different lens. There was a time during both the Cyrus fight and the Cynthia fight that I thought I might not be able to beat the game. I knew I could overlevel for Cyrus, but if he was that hard at level 80, I knew Cynthia would be a challenge at level 100. Thanks to GateKid3 for creating the sprite used for Beta Wooper. I really enjoyed their reinterpretation of Beta Wooper in a Gen 4 art style. The original artwork is linked in the description below. I hope you all are staying safe.